I have watched her from afar for a long, long time. And for many of you who've been following her on Instagram, and I know there's a lot of you that have been doing so, because she has over 145,000 people that have our eyeballs on her work. So that's pretty cool. So wonderful talent, creative. And another thing too, I met Presley when we were doing a TV show, and she was just so much fun and so cool. So I know that you're going to be very inspired by her persona, her magic, her just brilliance of being a powerful woman and a beautiful woman. But I know also you're going to really enjoy how she thinks about color techniques, how she thinks about shape, balance, and proportion. And as a salon owner, she can certainly share with you how she takes her beautiful work from what you see on Instagram and on a stage into the salon reality. So we're going to have a very rich conversation. This is not an Instagram flash moment here. This is a deep dive into the science, the art, the technique, and what makes a colorist today highly, highly successful. So I'm thrilled to welcome to our world beautiful Presley Poe. Hi, Presley.
Hi.
Welcome.
I feel shy.
Oh, So I'm super excited that you're with us. You've got so much to share. And can we take a little peek at your salon? I know you sent me a video, but can we actually have a little peek?
Little bit in the front area, and then we'll take a little around here. So I shampoo area there, nice gold wall, and then behind me have big, pretty mirror.
Salon's beautiful.
Thank you.
So beautiful. And your salon's name, which I think is really quite fabulous, Gold Studios.
Yeah.
A lot of gold going on there. So we love that. We love that.
It's like, I mean, obviously I wear a lot of gold. And I never really think about it, but people are like, what are you going to name your studio? And I thought, if I'm going to build a studio, and I call it Gold Studios, a salon experience, because I really want this place to be more known for like what we do for community than what we do with hair. So I just wanted to be like a kind of an all-encompassing space and having like art shows and things like that. So I was just like, if I'm going to do it, I have to put everything I love into it. It has to be all the things that are like so me. And I was like, what am I going to name it? I'm like, Gold Studios. Like, duh. Like, that makes total sense. Like, what's your favorite color? Gold. Like,
so Presley has been in the business for 19 years, specializing in hair cutting and coloring. She's also been a global educator for quite a few companies, Cosmoprof, Ettore Hanzo, Great Scissors. So you've been doing work with them?
Yeah, for about 5 years now, which is crazy. I can't even believe it's been that long.
And then, of course, you were on the Looks All-Star show, and I thought you were adorable on that.
Oh, that show. It was really good. It was really good. I remember when I fangirled Rob the original really hard, and he was like, what is wrong with this person? I was like, Rob, like freaking out. No, he's like, I was just going to get a taco, and I just completely bombarded him.
So talk to me about from beauty school to where you are now. What was your journey?
Oh, man. The moment that I went into cosmetology school, I knew that I wanted to be a teacher. Like, I knew I wanted to be a teacher, but I had absolutely no idea of how you do that. Mm-hmm. I thought, I think like a lot of people do, like you get out of school and you go back into the program and then you teach at school. But I knew that there was a different way because we would have different educators come in, and I want to be that. And then circle forward 10 years, it just wasn't happening for me where I was at. I'm originally from Oklahoma, and I would meet people who were educators and they would just seem so aloof about it. Like they didn't care. And meanwhile, I'm over here like trying every avenue to become an educator. So it took about 10 years, actually, 15 years into my career before I finally made the jump. And I just said, I'm going to follow my dreams. And I literally sold everything that I owned except some really meaningful art pieces and some clothes that I really loved. And I rehomed my animals, sold my car, left my house, my job of 8 years, and all the things to come to Oregon because for some reason I just was very, very drawn to it and was just convinced that like this is where I was meant to be, and then I was going to find my wife and my career and my, all the things. And then 6 months in, it happened. I became an educator for Pravana. And then very shortly after, about a year in, I became the head colorist of the Pravana Artistic Collective, and then started working for Ettore Hanzo. And following that, I've worked with several companies and becoming the face of several of them. So that was really, really interesting until this year when COVID hit. I finally decided, if you want to work in a place that has your bells and whistles, then you should probably make a place that has all of your bells and whistles, because no one else is going to build a salon according to what you like and what you need. So you need to do it. And so here I am. What I thought was really special about this piece is that it's a mixture of block coloring and color melting. So I just think that it's, and also precision hair cutting. So I think when you think of those three things, we often don't put them together to make something that's really fluid and can really be for any lifestyle. Like, when we're in our mid 30s, we don't necessarily want hair that's super aloof. We want something that looks expensive and it looks relevant. So precision hair cutting comes in there. Precision hair cutting looks the most expensive, and therefore it should be. And I believe that color melting also looks extremely expensive, and it mimics natural lighting, which is really nice. But color block placement is really on trend. So I just thought that this is a really important piece to incorporate because it has all of the elements of things that are really relevant, but staying really true to my own specific style, which is approachable, vivid hair color for business-minded people.
Wow, I love that.
This is what I call Lily of the Valley. I did actually teach this live on stage, and it is recorded, which I just found out at Premiere Orlando, I believe in 2017 maybe, for Pravana. It's on their YouTube channel. This model just had incredible hair, and I love the flow and movement of, I was just thinking this morning how I perceive hair color and hair cutting is hair color is the visualization of shape, and hair cutting is the conceptualization of shape. So with one, you get to have the illusion of volume and density, and with the other, you get to create volume and density. And when you put those two things together, you can have something like this that really almost mirrors itself from the inside out and gives just this super fluid movement and silhouette, which I really liked.
I love the fact also that you've started in such a lovely peekaboo way to reveal. Sometimes in a photograph, it's so hard to capture the essence of depth. Absolutely. And you can have all this dimensional color, and it's not until it's moving in real life or in video that you can really appreciate the dynamic. So I love your artfulness of playing peekaboo, here I am, color, check me out, because that is just amazing. And also one of the things I do enjoy is that you've got this seamless fluidity of tonality. And I like how you speak about light and the reflective quality, because it's easy to see this go blotchy and not fluid or look like a mistake as opposed to artfulness. So I know that that's really a very important part of what you do in your craft. So talk to me about this particular technique.
This actually won the Color Melt of the Year for BTC. It's a color blocking technique. Yeah, that was a really cool moment for me. This is a color blocking technique incorporating, again, color melting. But what I like about this in the fluidity of it is that the color blocking itself is the color melting by going up in levels of the same tone. So it gets a flow almost on its own. It's a very, very easy application. If you can't tell, like, I'm very inspired by movement, and I try to capture that in my photography of hair. But what I always look for is if the wind were to blow someone's hair when they leave the salon, that you get these depth pockets every time it moves, and you get this new representation of mood when they walk. So this is I wanted like a starry night kind of feel.
And the other thing too that I like about this, because one of my favorite color combinations is to see in a very dark level, a jet black, a denim blue, a baby blue. And sometimes the blues can get so easily eaten up in the dark hair. And I love how you've got that lovely metallic silver tonality there and how it whispers into that. And you still do see that there is a blue in there, and it's not lost in the black. So it's not only color placement, but it's how you very precisely positioned it so it didn't get lost in the shuffle.
Blue is a really tricky one, and it's interesting because it never really does well on my page, but they're always my favorites. And because of exactly what you said, I think that it's one of the most undervalued and underestimated colors when it comes to whether it be oxidative or non-oxidative tones, simply because it can look cheap really easily. It can look blotchy extremely easily. And it's really, really easy to lose all of your depth and dimension with blue. So
yeah. And you know what would be really nice to see? Actually, it would be a fun thing to do with you, which would be like facial framing according to the eye color. So that if you have beautiful brown eyes, what are the golds and the reds that are around there that are going to make your eyes pop?
I just did a look that I called Mood Fringe, and it's not on my stories anymore, but I think I'm going to post it as like a reel or something on Instagram. And I think that would be a really, really cool way to actually do that. Basically, the fringe, when it would go one way, was one full panel of color that went into soft. So it went bold to really soft. And then when it went the other way, it went soft to a little bit of bold. And that would be really cool. It's like a mood fringe of like, if you have hazel eyes, opposite of that would be violet. So doing like a violet color melt that could be like, okay, you feel very feminine today, so you get the soft side, or you want to be like bold and strong and do like the darker. That'd be really cool.
I think this color is spectacular.
Me too. I love metallic tones in hair. For some reason, I'm completely obsessed with making hair look like sheet metal. I think it's just being able to manipulate like color to be so highly reflective and to have properties that aren't in natural tones, because natural hair has more of a powder finish. So to be able to get just to look like metal, I just think is so cool.
Yeah.
And it's highly nuanced, which I love.
Yeah, and also let's give a shout out to your finishing skills here, because I'm sure if someone's wanting to find talent for a Pantene commercial, you could be the girl.
I don't know what I love just a really shiny glass hair finish with like body and movement. I just love it. I was very inspired. So there's a woman, an artist called Dorina Barakina, and she always photographs hair just like moving. And I just remember being like, oh my gosh. But in the beginning, I was not and I'm still not good at it. Although now I know like how to hair flip stuff. I can tell other people how to do it, but photographing it myself is difficult. Yes. But that's what inspires a lot of my photos, is because I don't have the talent and wherewithal with these giant cameras to like get all these big, beautiful. So I started to mimic it in my photography.
Let's talk about this shot here, because there's so much going on, and in the most beautiful way. There's incredible dimension.
So the inspiration behind this is the painting The Persistence of Time with the melting clocks. This is actually block color placement again, paired with color melting. And believe it or not, it's 2 square sections with the natural pigment, and then in between it was the vivid pigment.
How long did this take to do?
This particular technique probably took me, if I could show you the before of this. Oh, Vivienne, you'd be like, what? What? Her hair was actually black and green before, and like a super hot mess. So before this, it probably took me 5 hours, but the actual painting of the hair, it usually takes about an hour.
Okay. All right. So we're not just going to go quickly backwards. And all I want you to do is give me a time frame of how long each one was, because we look at the finished work. And if you're not used to doing this type of work, you can be very misled to think, oh yeah, I can do that. And then the reality hits. So let's just quickly go backwards. How long did it take to do this lady's hair? From what level was she and where she is now? How long did it take?
So this was a full head of highlights, pre-tone, then color melt and overlay. And this took about 5 hours.
Beautiful. And how long did this one take?
She's naturally a level 1-2, so lifting her to beyond platinum took about 3 hours in and of itself. The actual color melt took about an hour, so with processing time, about 4 hours altogether.
Okay. And how are you charging for these 4 and 5 hour services?
Hourly.
Hourly. Sweet. How long did this one take?
This was a full platinum card, so that took about 3 hours. And then I did actually 2 applications on her because it was not perfect the first time. So I went back, which is something that I do often. And I would say that at the end of the day, this took about 6 hours.
So I'm super excited about this next part of our presentation to you today, because Presley's going to do a haircut for us.
All right. So I get a lot of questions about whether or not I cut hair before I apply color. There's a couple instances in which I will. This is one of them. We are going to be replicating slightly the Lily of the Valley color that had the movement and the open petals of color. I just really, really love that hair color, and it's easy to teach. So I feel like you'll get it. But before that, I don't want to be wasting product and time on all of this hair. So I'm going to teach you a very quick technique to do an A-line bob. I do want you to keep in mind that I am not teaching you precision hair cutting. I am giving you a hack to do it very fast, in which we'll go back through and redefine at the end of the haircut. So this is a preemptive haircut hack that will get a lot of work done very fast and set the stage for your finished work. You can see that I took a U-shaped parting at the top here, so all the way to the back of the crown. And I'm going to be doing a A-line bob. She's going to be longer on this side and shorter on this side. So I'm going to center her. I can. You centered, lady? Nope. Okay. Okay, there we are. So I'm going to center her, and then I'm going to take the wide teeth of my comb and just comb through the hair. Usually I would do this with the hair super straight, but like I said, it's a hack. So here we go. I'm going to take a scissor that's designed ergonomically to cut through a lot of hair very fast. So we're going to do all of the perimeter in one singular subsection. I'm going to over direct with my body by stepping to the opposite side of the long side, and I'm going to leave the hair in its natural fall position, and I'm going to pick it up at the bottom and wrap it around. So all the hair is combed down, picked up at the bottom, and wrapped around to my shorter side here. I'm going to put it all in my hands. I'm going to show you guys that.
It's so good that you've got beautiful long fingers, Presley.
Oh my gosh, I think they're so stubby. So I'm going to drop down here, and now
join us in episode 2, where you will see the quick, easy haircutting hack for cutting an A-line bob with the twisting cutting technique for creating softness. We will also explore the power of a great consultation, how to create your brand and increase your value in your client's eyes, the power of complementary colors, how to create depth and volume with color, and the double color melt technique to create a gradient effect. Thank you so much for watching. Please sign up today for episodes 2, 3, and 4, where you will see the complete haircut and coloring technique by the fabulous Presley Poe.